Hey everyone, we're here with Johnny Petrehn. He's going to be a competitor at the world's hot air balloon competition, and so we're going to chat about what's he doing to prepare and how he looks at flying worlds. So, thanks for jumping in with us.
Happy to be here.
So I guess jumping off the bat, how do you prepare for a world's level competition?
There's so many different layers involved. So there's the travel of the logistics, the shipping, the vehicles, and then there's the mental preparation of kind of trying to get enough practice flights in, and I guess that's the physical preparation. So just kind of putting it all together. I've got a lot of checklists. I've done this for a long time. I've been to many worlds and many international events. So just trying to make a list and get everything checked off and put into place, and hopefully everything falls into place.
How many worlds have you been to?
I flew in my first worlds in '93, and then it wasn't again until '99, and then every one since 2004.
Okay, so a few of them.
A few of them, yeah.
How does flying in a worlds differ from, like, I guess, a standard like week-long competition, or nationals?
Usually, you don't know all the pilots there as well. I mean, we've got 100 balloons flying here, and I kind of know a lot of them. So people do things different from different parts of the world. The competition itself is structured a little bit different, probably tailored to the flying area. So the biggest thing that I try to do is go to the event the year prior, fly in the area, stay in the hotels, eat at the restaurants, and get a really good feel for what's in store for the next year.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest benefit or advantage I can think of. So you learn the wind patterns and the fast way to the launch field and where the laundromat is, and just eliminate all the things that kind of bug you in the back of your head, and gets rid of a lot of the variables. So compared to our national championship, we'll be flying there twice a day for 5 days. I'll be there 5 days early and doing a lot of practice flights. And at night there, it was pretty steerable last year, and we had 3-4 part tasks. I don't think there was a 5-part, but they take nights a lot more intensely than we've been able to do in Longview and Shreveport the last few years,
yeah,
especially. So, and then the big thing this year is taking a great team over, and I had a little bit of a youth movement on my team. So I'm bringing some up and coming pilots that are eager to learn how to do all of this stuff. So I've got some people to do some of the heavy lifting for once. So
awesome.
So just trying to eliminate all the variables and make it as easy as possible, so I can focus on the flying as much as possible.
So you mentioned the crew. So, what do you have the crew do? How do they help at the competition?
So this year in my van, I'm going to have 3 people plus myself. I'm fluctuating back and forth about flying a co-pilot depending on the wind temperatures over there, if I can make it work in the balloon. So I've got Scott Armstrong that's going to be my co-pilot or right-hand man or co-pilot from the van, however that works out.
Yep.
And then I've got Ben Leatherman and Landon Coates that are going to be in my main vehicle. And then I've got a lead vehicle that is going to be basically, when I take off, that lead vehicle is going to be parked at the first kind of common goal. So that's Corey Bloom and Ken Drawn, and they're going to be, so as soon as I get in the air, they can start providing me wind information and anything I need to know about the first target. With 100 plus balloons at the Worlds, the traffic is going to be a nightmare. All the crews are trying to do the exact same thing, go to the exact same place. So I'm going to have basically 2 vehicles, and they will leapfrog as we kind of progress through the series of tasks. So just trying to get everybody kind of assigned with their jobs and duties, and get to the point. We'll get a few practice flights in, and so everybody will kind of know what their roles are, and should be a lot of fun when it's time to start. We're really hoping that we'll be able to kind of be strong right out of the gate.
Yeah, everyone knows what they're doing. They can just jump into it.
Right, and everybody's there and excited to be there, and so I'm really excited about my team this year for sure.
Awesome. So with the equipment, I guess, how important is it to really have your equipment down and that process?
It's really important, and the Worlds, I mean, you spend so much money, so much time and energy qualifying for the Worlds, and so much money to go there. I've gone to Worlds and I've flown other equipment. I've borrowed equipment. I've borrowed baskets, and this is the one event where I try to not skimp on any expense, and I'll ship the balloon that I'm used to flying, that I've flown all summer, and I'm flying my basket, my burners, my tanks, my everything.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get in a balloon and it's a little porous. It doesn't last as long. So I'm flying a balloon that's less than a year old from Ultramagic, and got vans rented that we know are new and not going to break down, or we hope not. So again, more just eliminating things that can go wrong.
Removing unknown factors to
Absolutely,
affect
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of USA competitors going over there this year. I imagine not everyone's flying completely as a team. I know it's sort of working together, but are you flying with a specific sort of subgroup within that, or are you just kind of doing your own thing?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say. There's some natural teams. Obviously, Donners are going to work together. Hartzels are going to work together. We've got some kind of common things. We're all helping each other, but you can't travel in a pack of 10.
Right. That same
anywhere.
problem with the traffic and everything.
Yeah, so I mean, the big thing, we've got a common wind team, which you know about. So we're going to have WindSon data that's uploaded and available for all of the U.S. pilots. And then there'll be a lot of sharing information, and it kind of depends on everybody kind of goes out with their own plan, and if one group's migrating to one thing, I think it's a good group of people, and everybody likes each other. So it's just, somebody needs help, they'll get it, and then if one group's doing kind of what I think's a better thing to do, it's easy to peel off. I mean, I work with Rhett and Joe and Lucas a lot, but it'll be easy to peel off and go with Nick and Chase and Joe if they're launching someplace that I think's better. So everybody's got that freedom and individuality, individual, whatever it is. Everybody's got that freedom to go do whatever they want, because we're all, in a way, I mean, we're all there for. It is a team, but we're all there. It's one-on-one. I mean, we're all there for our own selfish reasons too. So everybody.
But overall, the whole U.S. team doing better improves.
For sure,
the
for
US
sure.
team standings
The bigger
later.
picture for the. I mean, we have 10 competitors, so we have the chance to even have more for the next World. So it's important for us to help anybody that's struggling, things like that. And I think you'll find a good mix this year for sure.
So going into like a specific flight, like what are you doing to plan, like overnight, the morning of?
Like at the Worlds, like
Worlds, at any event, I guess it is doing it. I imagine doing it at Worlds, you're probably planning a little bit more ahead, but
I try not to like second guess what the director's going to call, even though I do. I try to just get the task sheet, and the old me would analyze and be like, why did he do this? Why are we doing that? And kind of get all grumpy and cranky. And now it's like, you know what? This is a task sheet. Everybody's got the same task sheet.
Yep.
How do I get as many points as possible on this task sheet?
Right. How do you maximize what everyone has?
Yeah. I'm a big visualization guy, and I try to just picture how the flight's gonna go down in my head, and then practice. Going to the pre-Worlds, you fly with that new director that we don't get to fly with here, so you see kind of how he calls tasks and the strings that he puts together, and so when we're practicing here at home at different events, or after we've done our tasks each morning here in Indianola, ideally I was going to try to go do some tasks or some things similar to what we would do over there, just for repetition and muscle memory.
Right. I guess do you do anything to practice outside of flying? So like at home, you're not necessarily flying the balloon. Is there a way that you practice?
I mean, in some ways, like I always joke that I get really good at Aussie Target and Aussie Explorer by the end of the season, and then I don't use it for 6 months, and then it's like I have to learn it all over again. So I know last year in Saga, I had the map downloaded. I had tracking from Rhett and Matt Scaife and a few people, and so I was trying to fly along and plot and plan and figure out what would I be doing. So trying to kind of participate virtually anyways. I did the same thing in Austria when there was an event earlier this summer, and then just trying to get as many flights in as possible. But yeah, just doing my homework and knowing the computer, so it's kind of second nature. Knowing the balloon, so it's second nature. So you don't have to be in the air to be getting better, for sure.
I guess what would you point out as the differentiator between like whenever you were succeeding at nationals to finally succeeding at Worlds? Because I know you've won at Worlds, but like what's that one step to get you there?
Just really repetition. I mean, just doing it, doing it, doing it. If you want to be good at the Worlds and have a chance to win at the Worlds, you've got to be good at home. And then you've got to go spend time in Europe and in Japan and chase out of a different vehicle and fly differently and do tasks that we do different from home. And you just have to be so well-rounded. And flying the balloon has to be second nature. Using the computer needs to be second nature. And jet lag and nutrition and all, I mean, silly things that athletes talk about, and I'm about the furthest from an athlete there is, but just kind of eliminating all the things that can go wrong and trying to not make mistakes and getting help and using that information to your advantage.
Anything I didn't ask that you feel like would be worth pointing out as far as Worlds or anything?
No, I'm just excited. If we've got some paraphernalia, if anybody wants to go to usaballooning.org and buy a t-shirt, we're going to spend those proceeds are going to go to the wind reader and windson team that's going to provide data to everybody, and that information we're going to launch 3 or 4 windsons a day, and we have a tendency to lose a few of those, so we're trying to raise a little bit of money and send the proceeds to help all of Team USA do better. So it's a good cause, and just we appreciate everybody kind of cheering along at home as we get into that. That's kind of my next event. So I know we're loading the balloons up from here, and they're going to Dallas and get on an airplane on Monday. So things are really shifting into time to go to the Worlds mode.
Awesome. Well, thanks for chatting.
Yeah,
and
good job.
luck.
I appreciate what you guys do.
Thank you.
All right, see you guys.